Okay. Go. Okay. Since we know what HCF is, that is highest common factor, and how do we find it? That is the number which is the highest. I mean, whichever number that makes highest number that makes when divided by 21. I mean, if 21 is divided by 7, we should get a quotient and the remainder as 0. We should get a proper quotient and the remainder should be a 0. So how do we check that? How do we do HCF or GCD of a function? We basically start checking whether what are the factors. How do you know how many number of the how whichever number is a factor? If we know whichever number is a factor, if whatever the number, let's say x for a reason, is when divided by whatever number we are going to divide, it will give us the remainder 0. And how do we check HCF of these two numbers? That is, this number should divide both x and y to be 0. And when we divide x and y with the same number, it should give us a remainder 0, right? So that time we can say that that's a HCF of that number, not a HCF, a factor of these two, common factor of these two numbers. So what are we doing here in this, inside this if block is just finding the common factor. So now we know the common factor. Let me say CF common factor. What is our common factor here, Rituraj?
7.
No. According to the variable like x and I, y and I, what is the common factor over here?
1.
It is I. It's
Oh,
not 1.
yeah.
Right? So our common factor is 1. And now we know, we got to know how to find a common factor now. So now we have to find the highest common factor. How do we know which is the highest common factor? We check for each number that is at the range till 14 or 21. We can check it till 21 or 14. But if it ends at 14, there won't be any other common factor. So we will take I is less than or equal to x, that is 14 in this case. And we will increase our I value by 1 to check it every time. All right. I'm just putting my brackets over here. And guys, remember, if you don't have indentation, then just press tab and it will just indent your thing. And remember, indentation is always important. So, Rituraj, what do you think this loop will do? Okay, not Rituraj, wait. Anyone else? Vikas, Tanish, Sushant Kumar, Siddharth, Akshay. What do you guys think this loop will do? I just explained it.
No, don't worry about that. They will give some changes.
Anyone? I just gave you a brief idea. Come on, guys. You should be able to figure it out if you have done all the activities till 20. No. At least reply in the chat box. Someone. Anyone? No one. Okay. Rituraj, can you tell what exactly this for loop will do?
It will start from 2.
Yeah.
Then it will go inside the function, if function.
Yeah.
And then it will evaluate common factor. Then it will again go up.
Yeah.
Then check the value and increase it by 1. Every time it goes up, it will increase it by 1 to check common.
And it will run till?
It will run till
X or Y. I mean, whichever the lowest number, or we can do till the highest number also. Okay. That's not equal to, remember this always. And why are we not taking 1 here? Because we know 1 is always divisible.
Just share my screen and show you.
So you can take 1 if you're not initializing the CF if you're not initializing the CF to 1 before,
To go.
you can just take 1 over here and it will run the same way. So what this does is in the first iteration, it will come here, it will check whether 21 divided by 1 is the remainder is at 0. If this is yes, and you guys know the AND operator, right? Like AND gate, AND logic gate, not logic gate, or logic gate, this is the same thing. If this is true and this is true, then only it's going to then only it's going to run the statement. So it will first check x is x of I, x divided by I, whether it's equal to 0. And next, it will check y of I, that is 1 over here, with that the remainder is 0. If it's 0, then it will store the value of I inside the common factor. You can do this in two ways. You can reduce the number of iterations by putting 2 over here and initializing CF as 1, because we know every number is divisible by 1. You can do that, or you can just do this. It's going to be the same. So, and why did I, and this is one more thing. You sometimes, since we have to always take values from the user, and here I took an example. So how do you know whether a number, which number is greater or which number is smaller? What do you use here? To find which number is smaller or which number is greater, what do you use here? An if and else statement, right? So if we use, and for now I'll be using a ternary operator because it's short and faster. So let me just say int of n is equal to, if a is, if let me just say x is greater than y, then we have to return which value? Return
so that at least we can make this perfect.
No, we are finding the minimum value, so we should return x or y.
You know, you want everyone to know this course and conduct some practice sessions because they're finding some.
We are finding the minimum value, so if it's runs till the minimum values, it'll give us the same factors, right? So we can do a y over here if it's true, or if it's false, we can do we can return a value of x, and we just change the n over here. Guys, remember, this is not necessary. You can use if and else statement or run till any of that numbers. You can run it till 21, it's going to be the same value. If you're going to run it till 14, it's going to be the same value. But remember, till 14, not excluding 14. You should not exclude 14. So this is how you find the GCD of a thing. The CF in the end will give us the GCD of the number. Now let me just put it inside a method. And let me just show you what exactly and how it works. I'll just say printf GCD or HCF is over here our CF value, and I didn't initialize CF yet, so int CF equal to, we can just leave it at that or initialize it to 0 or any other value. Okay, now my int x equal to 21 and y is equal to 14. Guys, remember, don't copy this exactly. I am giving you the, I am taking the values. I'm not taking it from the user, so you have to do is you'll be doing it with the user. So make sure you use pass by reference and pass by value properly for this. So yeah, now if we run it, there is some error over here. Yes, I didn't put the format specifier and it's not going to give me the output of it. So if I run it again, it's going to give me that HCF is 7. And nobody in this class actually corrected my error. I forgot to include stdio.h. Just make sure you correct errors because you might or mostly will be getting debugging programs in your final exam. So this is for a GCD, right? So basically in a GCD, what do you have? You basically have two numbers. You have to find the highest common factor of it and return it back to your fraction. And as I explained yesterday, how do you add two fractions? If it's 3 by 10 plus 2 by 10, the answer you should get is 1 by 10. I mean, sorry. 1 by 2. Uh, okay, now, but when we are doing it in the method I explained yesterday, if we add it, what we will be basically doing is multiplying the numerator of the second term with the denominator of the second fraction to the numerator of the first fraction, and multiplying the denominator of the first fraction to the numerator of the second fraction, and that will lead us to 50 and 100. If you multiply and check for this test case. So now if I take
Okay, so that you are from RCM.
50 and 100 over here, what do you think our GCD will be? Anyone? Shamsai, can you unmute?
Sure. When did you join Mostly?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think will be the GCD for 50 and 100?
Divyan, you added his details to tracker.
GCD.
HCF, GCD.
Where did you
5.
What are your
5 for 50 and 100, not 5 and 10. Do you understand whatever I explained over here?
Okay, and I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
Then what do you think the GCD will be for 50 and 100?
So what's your role in Mindtree? What are your skills?
How do you find a HCF, Sham?
Of which both are divided by that number.
Yeah, so what is the highest common factor of these two numbers?
100.
Highest common factor?
Common.
Does 100 divide 50 by perfectly? Yeah, so which is the highest common factor over here?
So 50.
Yeah. So I should get my highest common factor as 50 here. So you can see I got my highest common factor as 50. So I think Rituraj got an idea of how exactly we do. You just have to find the GCD and divide by it. You understood how to find the GCD, right, Rituraj?
Yes.
Cool. I think you can continue with your program. I'll be explaining the fraction addition part. But since you already did that, you can continue, I guess. So, cool. I'm extremely happy to see your logic behind it. At least you tried. I hope others tried too, but they're not coming up. So guys, if in structure, you know how to since we explain structures, you guys know what exactly we do. We take a number. Wait, what's it?
Please connect with Vijay.
Yeah.
Should I do the whole program, or should I do the structure part, or should I just explain the logic for the fraction?
Explain the logic and that's it. Because we have many programs.
Till you get onboarded to project, you can join.
So guys, since you guys have been at least up to 20 activities, so I think you'll be able to get everything properly. So structures also, does anybody have doubt? No one, I guess, because
We are doing this because like if we stick on to these topics and like the last things if we miss due to lack of time, then we don't want like you to lose marks entirely there because you don't know a concept. So the only thing you can do is practice the previous topics.
I mean, have you explored
Yeah,
the
and
objects?
as I told you, how do you do this? I mean, whenever you take a
Have you
fraction,
explored the objects?
you basically do this. This will be your thing. When will you get 5 by 50 by 100? That is, you will basically be multiplying 3
If you log
into
on to the
10,
object, the way
and
is showing.
you'll be adding that with 2 into 10 in this case, and you'll be multiplying, I mean, you'll be dividing the whole. This is your numerator, so we have to give, remember guys, this program you have to give the final product in numerator and denominator form, not the fraction part. So here, and how will you be calculating the denominator? It will be 10 into 10. So if you guys can see this clearly, you can also see that, you can also say that n1 by d1 plus n2 by d2 is equal to n1 into d2 into d2 plus n2 into d1
Okay, so if you wait for projects pop to
divided by
onboarding, etc.,
d1
make use of this time
into
to
d2.
complete it.
And this is your logic. So now after this, you will get a final answer, and that will not be the simplified form. So what do you do for simplified? You calculate the GCD of those two, the final numerator. I'll indicate final numerator as NF and final denominator as DF. So how do you simplify this? You basically simplify it by finding the GCD of these two numbers. Remember guys, GCD of the final numerator and the final denominator. If you divide that, you will get, if you do the final, as you can see, 50 by 100, then HCF for the GCD is 50. So if you divide 50 by 50, you'll get 1 by 2, and 100 by 50 you will get 2, so it will be 1 by 2. So what we have to do is, this is actually not the final, but final of the sum. So you have to divide this by the GCD of the NF and DF. Whatever the value you get, you have to basically do that. And the same thing over in the denominator part. Do after which you will be getting the final fraction, simplified final fraction numerator part by simplified final fraction of the denominator part. So did you guys understand the logic clearly now? Does anybody have doubts in this?
Last call, guys.
Does anyone have doubts in this? I repeat. Guys, we are your classmates, so please reply to us at least in the chat box, in anywhere. Okay, so you understood everything properly, Siddharth. That's good. Hope you'll be submitting the program soon. And others other than Siddharth, everybody understood? Vikas, Tanush, Sham. Sham, did you understand?
I guess.
Okay, Niranjana, did you understand? Niranjana, I wasn't able to hear you. Did you understand? Okay, cool. So hope you'll be submitting the program soon. Abhilipsa, did you understand? Okay, guys, you can go ahead and are we explaining arrays today?